Welcome to day 3 of reading through Power Thoughts by Joyce, Meyer. Think about, look back over the course of your life and remember some of the trials you have faced. How has God used them to bring something good into your life? Now, remind yourself He will always bring good out of the current situations and the next one too. When David was faced with giant Goliath, he remembered the lion and the bear he had already defeated, and it gave him courage in his current situation. Rule number 3: don't make major decisions during a storm. No one's entire life is like one big, long, sunny day. At some point, we all face storms, whether they come in the form of unexpected illness, job loss, financial crisis, marital difficulties, problems with children, or any number of other scenarios that are stressful, intense, and important. I have faced many storms in my life. Some like quick afternoon storms that are common in summertime, and some that seem like Category 4 hurricanes. If I have learned anything about weathering storms of life, I have learned that they don't last forever, as I have mentioned in rule number 2. And that if it at all possible, I do not need to make major decisions in the midst of them. When the storms of life arise, it's best to keep your mind and emotions as still as possible. Thoughts and feelings often run wild in the midst of crisis, but those are exactly the times we need to be careful about making decisions. We must remain calm and discipline ourselves to focus on doing what we can do and trusting God to do what we cannot do. Just as a pilot's bad decision can cause a plane to be diverted from its intended destination, or even make a dangerous emergency landing, a bad decision can divert or delay you from reaching your destiny. Next time you face a storm or crisis in your life, I hope you remember these words, which I often say: let emotions subside before you decide. I'll take that again. Let emotions subside before you decide. Do your best to let things settle down before you make major decisions. You may not always have that choice, but as much as possible, put significant decisions on hold until your storm passes. Just as the wind blows about widely during a storm, our thoughts can become quite wild and frantic, and that is not the best time to make major decisions. Think about it. What do you consider your biggest mental and emotional challenge when storms arises in your life? Is it fear, anxiety, impatience, overreacting, or something else? Determine today to wait on wisdom and not respond emotionally or out of panic and fear. Rule number 4: stay in touch with the control tower. Control tower in quotes. Air traffic controllers are the only people on earth who can see the big picture, in quotes, of what's going on in the sky and who have the knowledge and authority to tell planes to slow down or speed up, fly higher or fly lower, avoid or navigate through storms, or take alternative routes to their destinations. According to the National Air Traffic Controllers Association, air traffic controllers in the United States handle about 87,000 flights every day and 64 million takeoffs and landings per year. Interestingly, air traffic controllers manage not only commercial flights, but also private aviation, military and cargo air traffic, as well as air taxis. If all the flights air traffic controllers handle at any given time were to be monitored, posted on monitors in the airports, more than 460 monitors would be needed. With so many flights taking off and landing each day, pilots have to stay in touch with the control towers if they want to make safe, on-time flights. Just as airplane pilots must maintain contact with air traffic control towers, you and I must stay in touch with God, the one who sees the big picture of our lives and who orchestrates everything that involves us. I'd like to take that again. Just as airplane pilots must maintain contact with air traffic control towers, you and I must stay in touch with God, the one who sees the big picture of our lives and who orchestrates everything that involves us. He makes sure everything that needs to happen in our lives happen at the right time, moves at the appropriate speed, and cause us to arrive safely at the destinations He has planned for us. If you want to stay on track with God and do so with good attitudes, we have to make communication with Him a priority in our daily schedules. It will help you navigate the ups and downs of life and find your way through the cloudy days when you can't seem to see the next step you need to take. I can't urge you strongly enough to communicate with Him frequently through prayers, reading His Word, worship, and simple acknowledgement of His presence and guidance throughout every day. If you want to learn more about how to stay in touch with God, moments by moments, and develop close relationship of communication with Him, I recommend my books, The Power of Simple Prayers and Knowing God Intimately. Think about, how is your personal relationship with God? If it's less satisfying than you would like, what adjustments can you make to improve it? Rule number 5. Try to keep things in perspective. Try to keep things in perspective. One of the definitions of perspective in Webster's dictionary is the interrelation in which a subject or its parts are mentally viewed. Interesting, isn't it? This definition makes a clear distinction. It implies that our mental capacities can cause us to see things in ways that may not be accurate. When we lack proper perspectives, we may consider minor situations to be major crises, or we may do the opposite and view significant situations as no big deal. Either tendencies, exaggerating things or minimizing things, can lead to problems. So we need to do our best to see things as they really are and not allow them to be out of proportion. Thank you for listening today. God bless you.